Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Not mixed with extraneous elements. Plain water. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Made his meaning plain. Free from any effort to soften to disguise. The plain and unvarnished truth. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. A plain hairstyle. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. You are plainly wrong. Extensive tract of level open land. They emerged from the woods onto a vast open plain. Lacking patterns, especially in color. Lacking in physical beauty or proportion. A plain girl with a freckled face. A basic knitting stitch made by putting the needle through the front of the stitch from the left-hand side. Not elaborate or elaborated, simple. Plain food. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Sheer wine. Very steep, having a prominent and almost vertical front. A sheer descent of rock. Turn sharply, change direction abruptly. Straight up or down without a break. Complete and without restriction or qualification, sometimes used informally as intensifiers. Got the job through sheer persistence. So thin as to transmit light. Sheer silk stockings. Cuz to sheer. She sheared her car around the obstacle. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Not an unmixed blessing. Not constituting a compound. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Make a formal accusation. Bring a formal charge. The plaintiff's lawyer complained that the defendant had physically abused his client. The act of delivering a blow with the foot. He gave the ball a powerful kick. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. She has a lot to kick about. Stop consuming. Kick a habit. Informal terms for objecting. Spring back, as from a forceful thrust. The gun kicked back into my shoulder. The backward jerk of a gun when it is fired. A rhythmic thrusting movement of the legs as in swimming or calisthenics. The kick must be synchronized with the arm movements. The swift release of a store of effective force. He does it for kicks. Drive or propel with the foot. Kick a leg up. Make a goal. He kicked the extra point after touchdown. Strike with the foot. The boy kicked the dog. The sudden stimulation provided by strong drink, or certain drugs. A sidecar is a smooth drink but it has a powerful kick. Thrash about or strike out with the feet. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. Yiddish, a constant complainer. Yiddish, a nagging complaint. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. Start playing. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. Express one's opinion openly and without fear or hesitation. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. The effects of the drought are apparent to anyone who sees the parched fields. Appearing as such but not necessarily so. For all his apparent wealth he had no money to pay the rent. Capable of being seen or noticed. A clearly evident erasure in the manuscript. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Evident hostility. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. The buildings in Rome manifest a high level of architectural sophistication. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Manifest disapproval. A customs document listing the contents put on a ship or plane. Record in a ship's manifest. Each passenger must be manifested. Reveal its presence or make an appearance. The ghost manifests each year on the same day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. A palpable lie. Capable of being perceived, especially capable of being handled or touched or felt. A barely palpable dust. Medicine can be felt by palpation. A palpable tumor. So intense as to be almost touched or felt. There was a palpable sense of joy in the air. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Patent advantages. An official document granting a right or privilege. A document granting an inventor sole rights to an invention. Grant rights to. Grant a patent for. Make open to sight or notice. His behavior has patented an embarrassing fact about him. Obtain a patent for. Should I patent this invention? Of a bodily tube or passageway, open, affording free passage. Patent ductus arteriosus. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Clearly evident to the mind. His opposition to slavery was unmistakable. Free from any effort to soften to disguise. The plain and unvarnished truth. Not having a coating of stain or varnish. Apart from anything else, without additions or modifications. Only the bare facts. Lay bare. Bare your breasts. Just barely adequate or within a lower limit. A bare majority. Providing no shelter or sustenance. Bare rocky hills. Lacking a surface finish such as paint. Bare wood. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Having everything extraneous removed including contents. The bare walls. Not having a protective covering. A bare blade. Completely unclothed. Bare bodies. Make public. Lacking in magnitude or quantity. A bare livelihood. Lacking its natural or customary covering. A bare hill. Not taken up by scheduled activities. Spare time on my hands. Thin and fit. The spare figure of a marathon runner. Refrain from harming. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. An extra car wheel and tire for a four-wheel vehicle. Give up what is not strictly needed. He asked if they could spare one of their horses to speed his journey. More than is needed, desired, or required. Sleeping in the spare room. An extra component of a machine or other apparatus. Lacking in magnitude or quantity. A spare diet. A score in 10 pins, knocking down all 10 after rolling 2 balls. Kept in reserve especially for emergency use. A spare tire. Save or relieve from an experience or action. I'll spare you from having to apologize formally. Use frugally or carefully. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Unembellished white walls. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Functional architecture featuring stark unornamented concrete. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. She has apparently been living here for some time. From appearances alone. Irrigation often produces bumper crops from apparently desert land. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. She was in bed and evidently in great pain. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. He was manifestly too important to leave off the guest list. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. The answer is obviously wrong. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. It is all patently nonsense. In a simple manner, without extravagance or embellishment. She was dressed plainly. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. You are plainly wrong. Extensive tract of level open land. A university town in east-central Illinois adjoining Urbana. A branch of knowledge. A particular kind of commercial enterprise. They are outstanding in their field. The area that is visible, as through an optical instrument. A particular environment or walk of life. The space around a radiating body within which its electromagnetic oscillations can exert force on another similar body not in contact with it. A piece of land prepared for playing a game. The home crowd cheered when Princeton took the field. A place where planes take off and land. Extensive tract of level open land. He longed for the fields of his youth. A region where a battle is being, or has been, fought. They made a tour of Civil War battlefields. A region in which active military operations are in progress. The army was in the field awaiting action. A geographic region, land or sea, under which something valuable is found. The diamond fields of South Africa. All of the horses in a particular horse race. All the competitors in a particular contest or sporting event. Answer adequately or successfully. The lawyer fielded all questions from the press. A piece of land cleared of trees and usually enclosed. He planted a field of wheat. Catch or pick up balls in baseball or cricket. Computer science, a set of one or more adjacent characters comprising a unit of information. Mathematics. A set of elements such that addition and multiplication are commutative and associative and multiplication is distributive over addition and there are two elements 0 and 1. The set of all rational numbers is a field. Play as a fielder. Select a team or individual player for a game. The Buckeyes fielded a young new quarterback for the Rose Bowl. Somewhere, away from a studio or office or library or laboratory, where practical work is done or data is collected. Anthropologists do much of their work in the field. Lacking patterns, especially in color. Having a feeling of home, cozy and comfortable. The homely everyday atmosphere. Lacking in physical beauty or proportion. A homely child. Plain and unpretentious. Homely truths. Without artificial refinement or elegance. Plain homely furniture. Needlework created by interlacing yarn in a series of connected loops using straight eyeless needles or by machine. To gather something into small wrinkles or folds. A basic knitting stitch made by putting the needle through the front of the stitch from the left-hand side. Tie or link together. A fabric made by knitting. Make textiles by knitting. Knit a scarf.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.